I know this is a very simpleton thing to say, but I like the way that you can copy something from your iPhone and paste it onto your MacBook just like that. It's quite good, actually. So, yes, this is the aftermath of Arsenal versus Bayern. And, well, that was a little bit better, wasn't it? A lot better than the first leg. Fuck's sake. We couldn't retain the ball in the first leg at all. And for the first few minutes, actually, it looked more like that again. It was a bit of a sort of worrying start, not like so concerning. It's just that time was starting to tick a little bit before Eze hit that shot. But I was thinking as well, can Leverkusen keep this press going all match? You know, they had a very energetic high press, and well, they couldn't basically, but they kept it up enough to make it kind of look closer than it needed to. Really, they were a bit more dangerous than they needed to be. Let's put it that way. You know, they were getting quite a lot of men behind the ball when we countered. You know, there was a chance I think with Trossard on the counter attack. He turns and there's five Bayer Leverkusen players there, like a blue wall, a wall of sea in front of him, and yeah, he couldn't get through there. So they did that a few times, but that is a strike. That reminded me of. It's not exactly the same, but it definitely reminded me of Henri, the turn shot against Man United. I think that was to make it 2-1 at Highbury. Yeah, what a strike. My stream actually froze, but it froze just as the ball hit the net. So I knew it was a goal. I knew it went in. Because most of the time when they freeze, the fuckers freeze just before and you don't know if it's a goal or not. But this time I knew. Fuck me. It's still kind of like annoying, but fuck me, what a strike. First goal in the Champions League done in a fair bit of style. But you still had this little semblance of, you know, this is all very well and good. We've kind of muddled our way through. We've done a bit better in this game. Cool. Not really a massive issue in of itself, but you still have that niggling feeling of, you know, what happens when we play a proper elite team. Not that Leverkusen aren't a big team, but you know what I mean by big. Proper elite team, a peak team in a pressure match, a proper pressure match in the semi-finals, something like that. If we're wanting to talk about winning quadruples, trebles, even doubles, whatever, then we have to be better than that. Still, we have to be. This is fine against Leverkusen. This is a level where we can beat Leverkusen at. But if you're talking to me about a semi-final against Atleti or Barca, we're going to have to do better than we saw tonight. That's not trying to be negative about it or whatever. It's just reality. We're going to have to be more potent in front of goal. We're going to have to be more. We're going to have to just be a bit careful with how we cede ground possession-wise. I mean, we seem to be quite happy to let them have a bit of possession and come forward. And Leverkusen sort of created dangerous situations, but their best chance by far, I think, was right at the end there. So it took them like 86 minutes to have what was a really clear-cut chance. I mean, they looked a bit dangerous from corners. They looked good in possession, but they didn't look like they were really going to sort of carve us apart. So I guess in a way you can't really draw too much from this game other than we did what we should have done. I mean, to be fair, we did what we should have done, and certainly in the second leg anyway, we looked like we should have looked. So I guess there's no surprises, and look, a little touch potentially. I don't want the football irony gods to hit this, but potentially a little touch that Bodo went out because I wasn't really looking forward to playing them. Sporting seems like the better option, but you never know with football, do you? I mean, like Sporting have a bit of history with us, don't they? So I'm sure they would love to knock us out, have a history of knocking us out of both sort of the biggest European Cup competitions. Great save by Ray as well, by the way, from that late Leverkusen shot. It's good to see that even though he didn't like have a mad amount to do, he was still alert. But yeah, not a game where you can really take. The one thing I could take out of it actually is that our fatigue levels didn't look too bad. And I was thinking that about certain elements of the Everton game as well. The fact that we were able to get late goals. The fact we seem to, this time around, it was a bit more encouraging from that perspective because a lot of the time recently we've been gassing out quite early and we didn't seem to do that today. And plus we made some subs earlier on. So earlier on than maybe we could have done so, or could have ended up having to. So yeah, that's another positive. Look, we play Sporting. It's going to be tricky because Bodo are good and Sporting just beat them 4-0 into extra time. So yeah, this isn't going to be, well, I mean, we've been struggling against pretty much every team we've played. So there's going to be no easy games, but you really feel like there's great chance to get through to the semi-final. The final is on my birthday night, and Mikel, please, I will reconsider the things I have been thinking about you in terms of exiting the club and similar such things. If you can give me a Champions League as a birthday present, that would be a great. That would be a situation where I'll be definitely thinking about recalibrating where I stand on the situation. But yes, it certainly would be great, greater than great. It'd be had. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do because I've already got plans sorted for my birthday, so I have to sort of like figure something out there. But let's not to get ahead of ourselves because we're certainly not in the final yet. So, but yes, I think him winning the Premier League for me, okay, that's good. You've done what I said, what I was wanting, sort of thing. Not that I said it to him, but you know what I mean. But what I was wanting him to do, what I was asking for him to do, which I think was fair enough, really. You get from wanting to compete, then you start to compete, and then there's another step that people seem to be forgetting, which is actually winning. So what a lot of Arteta fans have an issue with, they are happy to do the step from not competing to competing, but then for some reason they want to stop at competing and be okay with that. However, the funny thing is, once he wins something major, or something else other than the FA Cup, once he does that, that's the thing that's going to be used to convince you to keep him. So it's another never endless circle of irony and silliness and lack of self-awareness. But yes, we are into a trip to Portugal. It's going to be interesting, but I would rather us play, not even for general comfort purposes, but from the injury and fatigue perspective, I would rather us play in Spain than in Norway. You know what I mean? So, and on that pitch as well, which is a dodgy pitch over at Bodo, they got the artificial pitch there. So I'm not sure if that's something we would really prefer to play on versus like a well-kept grass pitch. So yeah, I think we would prefer not to play in that. Good to be through. It's just a relief. Do you know what I mean? It's like, obviously I celebrate the goals when they go in, but there's such an overwhelming feeling of relief. It's a sort of flattened celebration. Not that I don't enjoy it. I mean, freaking hell, the Eze goal, the Rice goal, I haven't spoken about that. Obviously the Rice goal, fantastic strike. One of those ones where you can see it coming, right, as soon as he picks up the ball. But that came from them pissing about as well. They were sort of overly elaborate playing out from the back. The ball went across the box and Rice nicks it, boom. So at least my stream didn't freeze for that. So 2 really fucking great goals through. We can't complain at all. We're not going to complain about being in a quarter-final of a Champions League. 100% not complain about that. Like I say, the deal is Arteta, win me a Champions League, deliver it on my birthday, and I'm not saying all will be forgiven, but we will certainly be getting more in my good books. For sure, it will be massive points for you, and, then we can see how things go. Alrighty then, enjoy the win. I will be back with my Mutant Show tomorrow at 7 p.m. British time. Have a good one, everyone. Peace, 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 peace.